Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kuttin Krew.
Yeah.
Yes. This is episode 3, and let me start off with the introduction here. To my left, I have.
Oh, hi, I'm Ashley.
Hello, I'm Brent.
It's Ace.
Taylor.
Brianna.
Zach, into the alphabet.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. And we're going to keep it strong. Please follow us. Hit that subscribe button. If any comments you want to have, just lay it on there, and we'll go ahead and reach back out to you. So you guys, today we want to talk about something that we go through on an everyday basis. So does it ever come across you guys that you're faced with a choice of buying something that's name brand that everybody knows? Or if you're trying to be conservative monetary-wise and you're on a budget, you have another option, which is generic. So today I want to elaborate and talk about a little bit on this because our audience and viewers are going probably the same thing that we're going through. So I'm going to start this off with Bree. Is there anything that you are faced on an everyday basis when it comes to a name brand versus generic?
I buy food a lot, so that food.
Okay.
I don't buy many clothes. I don't really do that, but I guess that would be a thing. I buy a lot of my stuff online though, so that like takes most of that off of it. I'm all about saving the money.
And how about you, Brent?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going for the cheapest if I can, whatever's on sale.
Nice. And how about you, Taylor?
I feel like for myself, I want to get clothing or whatever brand that has quality for the price. So I'm not going to just spend a lot of money just for the logo. I want something that's going to last for a long time.
Nice. Duly noted. We're going to touch more base on that. How about you, Zach?
Oh, I'm all about that cheap life. So, I'm searching for great value. Kroger.
Oh, yeah.
I want the, whatever works.
Nice.
I don't pay for the marketing.
How about you, Ashley?
It really depends. I mean, when it comes to clothing, I'd rather have something a little bit more quality so it doesn't just fall apart right away because I'm not trying to buy clothes all the time. That's not really my lifestyle. But, when it comes to food, sometimes I like, getting some nice things too. But then, but then there's other things that do it yourself, for sure.
Nice. So it's like when you're facing that tough decision when you're getting your frozen vegetables, do you go for the name brand or do you go for example, like at Walmart, we'll have like Great Value, or if it's Dillon's or Aldi's or what's Price Choppers, especially in the Kansas City area, or what's the one that's part of Kroger? Kroger, right? Kroger?
Yeah, Kroger is Kroger.
Bingo.
So
You should just set like peas and peas of two different brands next to each other. Are you going to be able to tell the difference in taste?
That's a good question.
Or
What
quality.
about? Yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
No, it depends. Like, if you've ever grown peas yourself,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
The flavor
No.
is
Where do you buy that at Walmart?
It's not. Well, it's not. Okay, so like I try to go like organic if it's like blueberries, but if it's a banana or an avocado or something with the skin on it, no, I'm not doing organic.
No,
I'm sorry.
I follow the same rule.
Something that's canned.
If you peel it, yeah, it's okay.
Are
So
there
that's a completely
off-brand
different-
bananas? Is that a thing?
Well, not off. Well,
There's
like
Dole
organic
and
versus.
then-
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm
where
never
can I buy
gonna-
them suckers?
Technically, all bananas are off-brand because originally bananas come with huge seeds that they genetically changed to make no seed, like seedless bananas. So the banana you eat is actually already modified.
Yeah, every banana is genetically the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
For me, back to the clothing thing, my input would be that for me, I like to wear the same stuff because I know it works, like he said, I want something that I know that I'm comfortable with. Like for me, I hate t-shirts. I hate t-shirts. I hate t-shirts. I hate t-shirts. Right now I'm wearing a beater, because I get hot super fast. And for me, I like to wear the same thing every day. It's not a mental hassle for me to say, what am I going to wear?
And to the audience, I'll let you know I'm not sponsoring this. Please wear a shirt, change, okay? But for example, here, I'm not picking on my friend Brain here, but so for example, for all the Royal fans and Kansas City fans that are out there, if I want to go to a game and I'm facing a decision, there is a Nike brand, which is a respectable brand, but then you also have these other brands, same thing. Does it make a difference, Brand, on the item that you're choosing? Do you have to have that Nike logo that represents the Royals, or you can wear any other brands that's with the same
Nike logo's worth a lot.
Yeah, with the same
money.
logo. What do you think?
I'll be honest, I got this online on the clearance section of MLB.com. So that's why I'm wearing it. But to me, it doesn't matter. I mean, listen, I'm 35 years old. I have a 3-month-old kid. And I'm in a relationship that I've been in for a long time, so I'm not out there trying to impress anybody. So I'm going for the cheapest way possible as far as clothing is concerned. Now I see a lot of young people here, so I'm sure that your input might be a little bit different than mine, but I'm going to the clearance section of online sites, and I'm finding the best deal.
I like that. You're talking my style. What do you have to say on that, Bree?
So like when it comes to Kansas City stuff or like any type of thank you.
There it is.
Anything, I usually go based off design and not based off of like the company. So I might get something that's Adidas because I like what they designed more than what I liked that Nike designed. But like I like Nike more than I like all the rest of the tennis shoes.
That's a good point there, Bree, and I like how she just said that. So let's look at it like this. For example, okay, I'm gonna give this one to Zach. So, for example, I wear a polo shirt. Okay, nice little horse, right?
Is that
It's
a
nice.
Polo brand shirt, or
Polo
are you
brand
talking about a
shirt.
collared
No,
shirt?
no,
Okay.
we're doing that first, but I'm gonna lay this to you. So, did you know that
Probably
the what's that shirt they sell at Gorman's? They have, I don't know if they have it at your local cities, but at Gorman's they have a polo shirt which is the U.S.
United States Polo Association.
Yes, that shirt. Did you know that's the authentic polo shirt, not the Polo Ralph?
Did you know Kleenex is a brand?
That's
That's the same thing. You know, you're looking for tissue wipes. You know,
Right.
but everyone says Kleenex.
Knowledge,
Yeah.
facts, you guys.
So if
See
you
that?
have Kleenex, is it name brand Kleenex or is it great value?
Mine is great value.
Yeah.
But so, like I said, so back to that shirt. So, for example, Zach, so help me elaborate on that. So, we know, if we did a survey, we know that depending on age, and it's not for everyone, but we would say that, oh, we're going for Polo because that's the brand that we know. But you have so many other polos that are out there that are quality. For example, I go to Kohl's, I shop Walmart, Target, I'm putting it out there because I'm a little bit more conservative. I love the color. I like the quality that they have. I mean, yes, Polo has a little bit more of a fashion to it. I'm all for that. But on the flip side, as a consumer, do you feel the necessity that you have to pay for that specific logo?
No. I mean, it depends. Like what like, I guess, what tier of quality are you wearing? Are you wearing like some amazing fashion designer? Or are you just looking for a nice shirt? I don't think it matters. It matters on the feel. And to some other points that I've heard, you know, you get comfortable with a brand like Nike. Well, you can get comfortable with an off brand. It just depends on what you like and what feels good for you.
What do you think about that?
Adding on to that, tall people like me, Zach, and Taylor, we
And Brent, he's tall too.
Yeah, he's tall too. He
Tall
said
and
no.
wide. Tall
He said,
and wide.
Yeah, we actually find difficulty finding. Sometimes I have trouble finding Nike shoes that fit because my feet are so wide, or different shoe
Yeah.
fits a different way. Jeans, especially with long legs, it's so hard to find a nice pair of jeans that fits your thigh and the length of your leg.
Jeans. See, jeans is probably the only thing that I will spend money on, and you've heard me, I'm cheap, okay? Jeans is probably the only thing that I'll be like, all right, I'll get like the expensive one because I know that they'll last a couple years.
What's expensive? 'Cause when I
Like
was in high school, I thought an $80 pair of buckle jeans was cool.
that's expensive to me.
That's expensive, and I did spend $80. I look fantastic.
And I'm sure you did, but like, I know anything else, like for leggings, I'll go like the medium route because I don't want them see-through, because oops. But then, I also don't, but like I also don't go to like Lululemon to buy my leggings either. I don't have any of that because that's like super expensive to me. I don't even step foot in it. I don't even try to do that to myself,
I think there's a certain aspect of perceived quality.
Yeah.
Like you see a Nike shirt, you perceive quality with that because they do that's a good product. And they try to find a middle ground where they can exploit that without like trying to oversell it. And well, it's really not worth the money. So
Okay.
they find that point and
So let's real quick, let's just split it off here. Let's go, for example, for Taylor and Ace on this. So you said it yourself on quality and everything. Okay, so on that, I take it you look for the best bang for the buck. So, for example, if they go into the mall, he said he got stuff online. Would you suggest to our audience and our listeners and viewers that it's better off to go this route by saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to be a bargain shopper and just focus on finding the better deals, or you're more on that impulse, like, oh, that looks good, I like it, I'm going to take. I'm talking about this particular set of people that are doing that. I mean, what suggestions do you have, or what's your opinion on that?
I feel that the main advantage to shopping in store is you are able to try on the shirt. You're able to see if it fits you well, if it accentuates your body or not. compared to buying online, whether it's a good deal or not. You don't know how it's going to make your body look. So that is an important factor and something you must consider.
How about you, Ace?
For me, I kind of agree. With a lot of like dress shirts, for example, I go to Walmart. There's the brand Paul George, I think it's called. My dress shoes for work are Paul George. It's
Paul
brand-
George, the basketball player?
He's a
or-
basketball player too.
You mean George?
No, it's like it says like Paul something. Paul, I don't know. It may just be George. I don't know. But they have dress shirts, they have dress pants, they have dress shoes, they have
Right,
dress
right.
everything. I actually bought a full outfit for homecoming, and I guarantee nobody could tell what I was wearing. I like it because it has quality. My shirts don't get stains. They don't have anything on them. My shoes, it's been raining a lot here in Wichita lately. I've stepped in multiple puddles, and not once has my sock ever been wet. So I really kind of appreciate the $15 I spent on a pair of dress shoes that nobody can tell the difference.
You know, it's interesting you say that because it's like, what kind of quality is someone looking for? Visual quality or like durability quality? Because you could buy a pair of jeans from Walmart. They'll last, I don't know how long, depending on the low-level brand they have, but you get an expensive pair that's all like torn up or bleached or something like that. It might fall apart in 6 months.
What do you think about that, Ashley? I mean,
I know a lot of girls that if they get like a medium quality place, they'll go and buy things off season. So as soon as it's like winter sale, they're trying to get rid of everything. So you can get like a jacket that's really nice for $15 that you normally wouldn't buy. So then when you're wearing it, people are like, oh my gosh, you spent $150 on a jacket. And you're like, actually, no. I bought it and then I had to wait 6 months to wear it. But, you know, so I know a lot of people that do that. And then thrifting. Do you guys thrift? I know a lot of people will thrift.
I was gonna say I do off-season stuff all the time.
Grossed out.
At Old Navy, you know that's
Skin.
that's one of my
I like Old
spots.
Navy.
I go
Yeah.
there, I go straight. I know where the clearance section's at.
Yeah.
I know if I go back there
so you're a
right
regular,
now.
Brent. You're a regular.
They know me because I'm the guy messing up the clearance section, you know, and they're having to go back and fold it up and all that kind of stuff. But she's right though. You go off season and I can get a $10 sweater that was $30 and nobody knows that I bought it for $10 and I feel comfortable in it. So
Well, here, how about this? Let's change it up now with, okay, so now we understand, so we kind of got a feel for the clothing part, but now let's talk about now the medicines, because you know there's all, when you go in, if you need like regular cough, because right now we're in allergy season here in Kansas. So for example, Zach, back to you. When I'm walking in there, I see your big name brand stuff here and then generic. Again, is that a factor? Does quality, how does that come into effect?
You're skirting the line on some controversial topics. Because, I mean, if you start talking about name brand, like name brand is what a pharmaceutical company works and spends billions of dollars developing, and then they hold the patent for a certain amount of time. No other company can make that drug. So if you're looking for a drug that company still holds a patent on, you're not going to be able to get generic. You're going to be stuck paying for the name brand, even when generic is like the identical molecule. So are you familiar with generic versus name brand medicine much? I'm really not. I'm not like that smart with it.
No, you're a smart guy. It's just I've taken that for
It's
granted.
just like, you know, Claritin, there's off-brand Claritin now. There is no discernible difference between a Claritin pill and a name brand like Kroger pill. They're the exact same medicine. So why would you pay for the name? If you're going to need the
Because-
same exact effects. You want to carry around the Claritin box like, hey, check it out. I'm Claritin clear.
To take,
Sponsored by Claritin.
to take that to a different level, a lot of people have a different reaction. Sometimes, you know, name brand or, you know, one brand versus another can react differently to the body. For example, I don't get sick very often. If I do, you're going to see me in the hospital because I don't get sick. I have a very high immune system, strong, everything like that. One thing I do know a lot about is supplementation, stuff like that. I know for me personally that a off-brand pre-workout can work just as well as something that's, you know, the new rage on the market. You
It's
know,
really
got the
interesting to
fat.
say that there are certain supplements like, you know, Pure creatine.
and you can't.
You know, that's like the top. You know, that's the best creatine you can get. But there's other creatines that might work just as well. But they've established themselves as like, hey, we're the best.
And
And
that's
you want to
it.
buy them, and everyone gravitates towards that.
But when you look at the label on medicines and on foods and stuff like that, off-brand versus name brand, like most of the time it's identical. So I'm with Zach. Why, if it tastes the same, if it does the same things to your body, if it helps you in the exact same way, I mean, I'm all for just riding through the pain. I don't like to buy medicine, So I mean, don't
More
listen
power
to me
to
when it
you.
comes to
More
that.
power
But
to
like, as far as like food and labels go, it's I mean mostly the same. So why would you pay $20 extra
Now,
for
if you want to wear a
specific
Nike
thing?
shirt, you're going to wear a Nike shirt because you want that swish on it.
Right.
Hey. So, all right. So on that, now let's
Yeah.
let's change a little gears on when it comes to electronics. That's a real good, because see, the thing is, we have certain variety brands that we have here. We have some that are high price. We have some that are more conservative cost. Now let's touch base on, for example, electronics. So let's start off with phones. For example, in our town here, we have T-Mobile, we have Verizon, AT&T, and we got Cricket, T-Mobile. Now, on that, I'm gonna
Wait,
give
are
this
you,
to
Are you talking carriers or phone?
both in general. So we're gonna try to make sure this makes sense on this side. So we're gonna cater to ones that are budget conservative, and we have ones that don't matter. If you're doing fine financially, more power to you. Then this is not for you on this. But I want to touch base on, because remember, we're focusing on what's the name brand, what's the generic. So I'm gonna give this to Brent on this one.
Let's do it.
So let's do it. So the first one, carrier with on top of electronics itself. So like, for example, LG, Samsung, and so forth, Panasonic, and so forth. Does it matter? I know that's
sure.
gonna be controversial, but tell me on your point of view. What do you see?
Carrier for sure. I have Sprint, and I manage 10 stores. That's what I do for a living. I have a store on the north side of Wichita that I get no cell phone service there. I mean, literally zero cell phone service. It'll take an hour and a half literally to send a picture of about 13th to Waco area. So, you know.
Here in Wichita, Kansas. by
Here in
the way.
Wichita.
It's not even out there. It's
and
kind of in the middle of.
and brand makes a difference too, or as far as the actual phone itself. You know, I have an Apple phone, and I got all of my family to get Apple phones. So, you know, I can message them easy. We can send fun stuff, and you know, I can take my phone and pick up my tablet, and then I'm right back to what I was doing on my phone. So I think it's very important, especially when you talk about quality.
How about you, Ashley?
Well, some of my relatives live on a farm, and so, you know, when you go out and they don't have the internet, they don't have, I mean, it's like 100 years ago when you go back and when I visit them. And we have to go, so when my brother and I, we were trying to make phone calls back home to people, we would have to like walk like a mile away and get up on this hill and try to hope to get a little bit of a something, you know, if we were in the middle. So, and as soon as we switched to AT&T, we actually magically have service in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, even though I am paying more, I'm like, but I get service, you know? So it's,
How about you, Zach?
You know, I'm going to give a disclaimer. I don't know exactly how this works. I'm just kind of guessing. So carriers build towers.
yeah.
Sprint has its towers. Verizon has its towers. Maybe they have some kind of sharing between companies where they trade bandwidth. Okay. So the more towers you have, the better service you're going to have. But also the more you're going to charge for that because you can provide more service. I know like Cricket, or what's that other one that popped up off like over by churches?
Metro?
Metro. I'm pretty sure they buy bandwidth from the bigger providers. So like Verizon, who owns towers, Metro will go in and buy like a certain amount of bandwidth, and they'll sell it as like little blocks. So you're technically using Verizon's technology, but it's sold under a different name. But it's just whatever works in your area.
Okay, because
That's
like
what it
me,
comes down to.
well, and you see, with me, I'm on the conservative side. I am with Cricket. I mean, Cricket
Yeah.
provides me with the internet. I've got a good, affordable phone. It still does the things that I need it to do. I understand that this new age with all the technology, with all that, that's all fine and dandy. But to me, I need something that's going to work for me.
See,
So,
Yeah.
so on that being said, so like Taylor, so do you feel there's a necessity? Say, for example, a college student or someone that for some reason they're limited economically. Do you feel that they have to go above and beyond to get this kind of technology, or what do you see best for this in this situation?
I feel like with the availability of Wi-Fi, getting these high brands like AT&T, Verizon, isn't necessarily what you have to do. You can get a cheaper brand like Metro, like Cricket, and still make it, and you still are able to send pictures, get internet access, stay in contact with all of your contacts, and you don't have to pay that premium price.
Ace?
For me, I've been with Metro ever since I ever bought a phone. Metro is actually through T-Mobile now,
Okay.
and they do have their own towers, but they do what he said. A lot of phone companies, like for example, if this is Sprint's tower, they do say, hey, you guys can use this service, but it's not going to be as fast. It's not going to be as good of quality. With Metro, I've never had any issues. I get unlimited talk, text, and data, and I use like 68 gigabytes of data. Like I'm on YouTube, I'm on, you do things like that.
How much do you pay? Just curious.
Literally, if you're using a card, $51. If you're not, $54 in a store,
Okay.
and it's never gone up. It's never gone down. The service has never gone whack. Besides in one part on 9th Street, there's a dead hole over there. But other than that, anywhere.
See, I have unlimited Sprint, and after 50 gigs of data, they throttle my service.
Yeah,
so they can say unlimited.
Mine's
It's
it's just
like-
high speeds the whole time. 60 gigs and still high
That's
speed.
nice.
So now that let's step away a little bit from cell phones. So let's do a little bit of facts here when it comes to TVs, because they're TVs. You can walk into a store using so many. So I did a little bit of research, and I saw that upcoming brand is Vizio, right? Is that how you say it? Vizio? Vizio? Did you know Vizio is an American-owned company, and they're manufactured in Taiwan, but yet everything is through here. So that being said, you're asking, so how can that be? Watch. So the things that they apply, you can get it through a Samsung, you can get it through an LG, and does the same thing. So I'm going to spin this over to Bree. Bree, do you feel that it matters that, it's not Samsung, it's not LG, it's not this?
Okay.
What's your take on that?
So I love technology. I will spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on technology. I'm not a spender, but I would do that. I had one TV that my mom bought me going into college, and it stuck with me up until, so I'm 24 now. I got it when I was 18. Stuck with me all the way up until a couple months ago when I put on a TV show that I thought my dog would like, and it had dogs on it. So she ran, she ran to the TV, and the only reason why, and I dropped that TV so much, I took it back and forth with me from Topeka to Wichita, so it's withstood a lot. It's moved with me a lot, and it took my 60-pound half pit bull, half Rottweiler to run into the TV. I kid you not, and it falling over for it to actually completely break down on me, which is really good for a TV. And it was just a small little thing. I would throw it around it didn't really mean much to me, and so I had to get another TV. But
I'm going to hijack this conversation.
go ahead.
So, there are 3 manufacturers that I know of that actually make panels: Samsung, LG, Sony. I don't know of any other manufacturers of like LCD, OLED panels. How many TV brands are there? Do you know what's in a Hisense? It's probably like a Sony, LG, or Samsung panel. So you're getting the same exact panel. What it comes down to is the components that they put in the TV for video processing. So like the image that is actually displayed on the screen, you got your inputs, video processing panel. Okay, so all those, that's what makes the difference. So you got higher quality, you got lower quality. If you go to like Best Buy, you can compare TVs. A lot of them look really similar, but in the very upper tier, you do start seeing little differences. They're like, wow, that's an amazing picture.
See, now you just changed my perception now when I walk into Best Buy. So that's duly noted. Brent had something to say.
Well, yeah, and Zach kind of led to it, but you got a lot of people that'll go shop at Walmart for a TV, and what a lot of people don't know is that those TVs are actually made just for Walmart. Mm-hmm. So they're using inferior parts, in my opinion, because I've dealt with it. I've sold TVs for almost 14 years as part of what I do, but they use inferior parts. So that's why you can go to Walmart and you can get a cheaper television than Best Buy. You go to Best Buy, you might put those TVs next to each other and they look darn near the same.
Yeah. But what happens if components start wearing out on the Walmart TV like 5 years before the panel even starts to go? It's like,
Another thing a lot of people don't know is a lot of the things that you buy in store, if you look online, you can find them there to buy directly from the people who make them. You can get stuff from Taiwan or whatever, however you say it, directly to your door. You do not have to go to Walmart, and it's actually cheaper. So you can look and see a LG TV that's made in Taiwan, hit the company up, and then you get it shipped right to your door for a lot cheaper.
So I know that there are a lot of companies. I don't know if it's just technology. I was thinking more of glasses because I don't know why I started thinking about those. He said online, and my brain works weird, but I know that there are companies that have like all of their different brands they branch off of, but they like charge more expensively because this one's this, and then this one's this, and then this one's this, but then you don't even realize that you're paying for the same thing. So there was like a company who was owning all of these all of these glass companies, and so they could charge whatever they wanted for it. Because they started buying just like all of these other glasses companies. So then they were just upping up these prices. So then the online shopping started becoming more popular. And so now you don't have to do that. You can just like buy your stuff online from a different company, and it'd be like the
There's a
exact
lot of
same
stuff like
thing.
that.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
And it's getting to the point where you can buy massive things online too. Mattresses places like Mattress Hub is actually going out of business because you can now order a mattress online to your door.
You can buy birth control online now.
You can buy a whole.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get anything
Oh my
online.
gosh.
You can buy a whole car and have it shipped to you in 3 days. Did you know that? 3 days. A whole car, brand new. They'll tell you that it's coming on a truck. They give you full insurance. If anything happens to it, you get a refund, and you get that car. It comes to you on
Is this
truck.
generic? Is this generic
No,
or name brand?
generic.
Because
No.
you're talking about cars. You're talking. So we're getting.
I guarantee you there's companies out there, if you wanted something like a Lamborghini delivered to your door and you had the money and you paid it, they will ship it to you
But
and
like,
they drive it to you.
do you know if it's like if there's any problems when it starts, if there's any problems
That's
like
the
with
thing, is
the
there's a contract. I haven't done it. Obviously, I'm not rich, but there's a contract
No?
that I guess they send you something. It's basically saying that your money is guaranteed to be worth what you're paying for. You know, you pay for the shipment, you pay for the car, and they guarantee you the money back if anything's wrong, if there's damages from the driving, if there's a crash, whatever. They guarantee you your refund.
Okay. So here, just to scale it a little bit back, because now you put me in this whole another phase, you guys. Here's real quick, Zach. I'm gonna bring this up to Zach and Taylor on this because I want you. I gotta check this out. So when I walk into the store, so for example, on everyday things that we need for like oils, you know, because you have so many different oil companies that Quaker State, Valvoline, and so forth.
Just trying to differentiate.
And
All like the base oil is the exact same. It's the stuff they put in it that makes it.
that makes it okay. So that's done. How about like watches? Also, things in that nature. And on that, real quick with Brent on this. So online, for example, there's companies that you go to. It's the same thing. Online shopping. They offer nice watches, and things like that. But it's super affordable. Well, why buy here and it's buy all expensive? Does the brand offer a validation? Do you need a name brand look or where to seek that validation? I mean, what's your point on that?
I don't think. I mean, it just depends on who you are as a person. I don't need any material thing to validate who I am, per se. But I used to be a watch guy. I had Bolovas. I've had all sorts of different watches, and that was when I was younger. I mean, when you're younger, you care about the wrong things for the most part. So I've got an Apple Watch that was gifted to me. Would I buy it myself? Maybe not. But I just need it to tell time. I don't need this thing. Well, you could talk to people on it and text it. I don't need all that, but it's pretty cool to have.
Do it like Iron Man. This is gonna come up all
Yeah.
futuristic.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, I'm really glad you brought this up because this is what I've been waiting for. There's a certain point
Thank you.
where you're not buying the product, you're buying the brand. Like you're not buying a car, you're buying a Lamborghini. You're not buying a watch, you're buying a Rolex. In some scenarios, depending on your social circles, your economic status, whatever you want to like try to throw out there in the world, this is what I am. You're not driving a car, you're driving a Lamborghini. You're not wearing a watch, you're wearing a Rolex. So there's a difference. It's not to say that a Rolex is good or bad or whatever. It's probably a fantastic watch, but does it do any different than?
So on that note, and I appreciate you saying that. So let's take this down to the crowds that are in our younger bracket going forward. So he just said it himself. Do you think it's important? When you're buying that product, it goes back again because you're buying that specific name or whatever you're wearing. Does it really matter, Taylor?
I think it all comes down to your priorities. If you're wanting a watch to tell you the time and nothing else, you can get a Timex for $25. If you're wanting to get a Rolex or an Omega to impress your coworkers, to impress a pretty woman, well then it shows where your priorities are. They're not just in having a device to tell you the time.
How about you, Ashley?
It's just, it's really weird because I used to be into watches when I was a kid, but the most important aspect is I want to be able to go dive into the bottom of the swimming pool, you know, and it not break. It was just like the cheap ones. But as soon as I got a smartphone, I just didn't really I use my phone as my watch. And so it's weird, because then they came out with the smartwatches, and it's like, now we're using our watches to like make calls, and we use our phone to check the time, and it's all flip-flop, and so it's just
That's
crazy.
a good point.
But I mean, I think watches look nice, but I don't even have one. I don't even have a watch.
Watches is
you know?
really niche. Like, there are some obscure manufacturers that might make, I don't know, 100 watches a year that nobody knows about. But like the upper tier Wall Street guys, they're all showing them off, oh, this one's 100 grand or whatever.
So we're going to do a little quick story on this. So, for example, I have a story where name brand meant something. Like if you didn't have that, you were made fun of. And status, exactly. I want the audience and viewers to understand, you guys, when it really comes down to it, the product don't make you. Okay? I mean, when you're going out to work or when you're going out to social business, I'm not going to sit there and look at you and say, oh, what are you wearing, sir? Oh, no, I can't talk to you. No. It's like, that don't even match. Things like that don't matter. So, I mean, I just want them to know, especially all the young crowd and people that are just listening just for curiosity. I just want you guys to understand, on my end, personally, I don't think anything you wear or your preference makes you. So, Brand, what can you say on that?
I'm already said that. I mean,
Brendan said that.
yeah, I mean, you know, it's just a phase that people go through. Young people, you could tell them that, and
They don't listen.
I mean, they got to live it. You know, they got to live it themselves and see that it's not that big of a deal. You know.
It's all in your mentality. For me, all right, let's theoretically say I'm a billionaire, right? I have all this money. For me, it's not going to make a difference what car I'm driving. I want a reliable car. I want something that I'm investing my money into that I know is going to last. But let's say, you know, Rolex costs what, the cheapest Rolex you could get would probably be like, what, $5,000? The cheap Rolexes, $5,000. Why not take that $5,000 that you're never going to take to the grave and give it to the community? Why not give it to homeless shelters? Why not start a business that's strictly ran to make more money to help people? You're already a billionaire. If you have enough money to spend on this little Nike check sign, how come you don't have enough money to put it to the community?
See, that's that's valid points, and I understand that. But on this situation, like I said, I want to kind of do it to where, to understand that, I think that's a whole different level.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Because I'm not a billionaire. So to me, that billionaire could be like, what is he talking about? He don't know about that life. You know, so I mean, we got to be real cautious how we approach that.
Yeah, we all work for our money, and I understand that everybody works very hard for what they have. But in a way, like personally, I would not focus more so on like what am I wearing, what am I doing, what am I driving, and I'd focus more on how can I make this money worth something else.
So, for example, Bree, has it ever, maybe just real quick, has it ever happened to you where you wore something that was generic or something that was not name brand and you were stereotyped, or you're like, oh,
Yeah, right.
loser?
Yeah, right. Okay, no. Whenever. No. Okay. Even when I like go out with my friends, if I like see somebody across and I think that she's wearing something pretty, I don't go up to her and like look at her tag and be like, oh, is this? Oh no, it's from Walmart. It's not cute anymore. No. No, you don't do that. Like you're just
Okay.
like, oh, that person looks nice, or like, oh, I like their shirt, or oh, I like what they're wearing. You're not like, oh, what are they wearing? Like you don't do that.
How about you, Ashley, on that?
No, back in the day, I would ask them like, you know, where'd you get that? You know, back in my teenage years, and they would always be like, France, Texas. You know, it'd always be like, they wouldn't even say, yeah, they're like, I got it in France. And I was like, oh, like, I was like, you know, so which is cool. They wouldn't even say a brand.
Where did you go to high school?
No, just, well, yeah. Yeah, no.
The
No,
Eiffel
it's
Tower was
weird.
our mascot. You know?
You know, like, the weird thing about, like, all these brands is you get judged sometimes in both ways. Like, you know, if you're not wearing a brand, sometimes people are like, okay, you can't sit with us. But then other times, If you do have a brand on, right, people will look at you and they'll Google and they'll be like, oh my gosh, she spent $900 on a bag, you know, and be like, that is an entire paycheck, you know, and so they're like, I can't even comprehend that, and so it's weird because there's all this judgment around like stuff, you know, and it's just,
I would say that I do that, but only out of jealousy.
Right.
Only out of jealousy, only because I'm like, I'm still paying for my last semester of college. I don't even know if they're gonna give me my diploma because I'm still behind on it.
Yeah.
And y'all over here, you're able to drop like $900, $1,000 on a purse. And I'm still, and that's 1/3 of what I got left to pay for
crazy,
college.
right?
I'm so happy you said that because I associate this so much with social perception. What do you want to throw out there about yourself? Oh, I can afford this nice watch, or I can drive this nice car. Do you know what the #1 car bought by millionaires is in the United States?
Honda.
F-150.
I have an F-150.
F-150.
Yes. So I lied. So I am.
Got the mentality.
So when you have money like that, I mean, you can afford something, but it depends on where your priorities are and what you want to like throw out there for people to know about you.
All right, so the jury's out there. So, okay, so let's summarize this real quick. So to elaborate and hop it off, Taylor, so does it matter or it doesn't matter, or you can have the best of both worlds? And I'm gonna start with you, Taylor.
I feel like you can, it all comes down, you want to kind of have a happy medium. You don't want to have something that's going to be such poor quality, such a poor brand that it's not going to last, but you don't want to have the highest brand, the most expensive thing, and, you know, be broke because of it. So look for that happy medium.
How about you, Ace?
If it looks good on me and I can be confident in it, and I like how it looks, we're good. We're
Okay, Bree?
It's not as simple as a one. It just depends on it. So like for clothes, I'm more of a medium brand person. For food, I'm all for getting the off brand because to me it's the exact same thing. My mom, on the other hand, is not that person. My sister likes name brand for her clothes, but she's okay with off brand for everything else. I'm just like this, and it's whatever's clever.
All right. You, Zach?
I suggest everyone watch Mad Men.
I love
It's a great show.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great show.
There's a lot of this conversation that can be like picked up on what they're doing. They're trying to throw something out there. It's better than this other one when in reality they're very similar products. So it depends on what you want to make yourself look like. Depends on your money. Depends on so much. You know, do what you want.
How about you, Brent?
Well, let me just say this. If you're drinking off-brand soda, I'm definitely I'm judging you right now because it doesn't taste the same at all.
Does it carbonate?
It doesn't taste the same, but do what makes you happy. I mean, we're here for a limited amount of time on this earth, and if you need to buy expensive clothes to make you happy, then do it.
Yeah.
If you're okay with dressing like a dad like I do, then dress like a dad, you know, rock it on, you know.
And how about you, Ace?
Just real quick, off topic, but I'm a firm believer that water tastes different. Water can taste different, okay? In bottles versus cup versus whatever, it has a different taste. And did you know,
Their
for
pH
another
balances
topic,
are
did you know
different.
that some things in water, we'll have to talk about it later, but anyways.
Well, you just said some things in water. I want to clarify.
No.
Water doesn't taste different. What's in the water makes it taste different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But I
Okay.
can't elaborate.
All right, well, we'll lead out, and please write comments on that because I know we're probably going to get a lot of comments on that one. How about you, Ashley?
I just think the most important thing we have is our time, and money is a tool. So use it for experiences, use it for building, use it if you want to use it for stuff, great. But like, it's a tool, so use it.
I like that.
So, and on that, I mean, like I said, I totally agree with, everyone has great points here, everyone, because overall in life, I mean, you only live once. And at the end of the day, each day that goes by, I mean, it's something you don't get back. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying, okay, everybody, let's go broke, and I'm gonna go ahead and just buy everything, and then at the end struggle.
Do
but
it.
Use, and I'm not gonna use the word common sense. Grab information, ask people that are already experiencing this, and try to figure out what's going to be best for you. Because at the end of the day, you're going to go through phases at the end of the day where you'll be like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to invest in this no more. I got to look for it here. When you become parents or when responsibility starts kicking in, you'll get to it to where it'll be like, you know what? This is not me. This is not for me anymore.
Spend all my money.
Right.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Well, you guys, hey, so like I said, please let us know what you guys think. I mean, because I know this is a subject that everyone can talk about, and please leave your comments and feedback. Before we go, I want to let everyone know that upcoming episode, we're going to have a new channel, actually not a new channel, a new segment. It's going to be called Out and About. And we're going to introduce that with Ace. Ace, can you tell us a little bit real quick about Out and About?
Yeah, Out and About is with Ace&M News and Reviews. What we do is we kind of go through Wichita. We check out new places, hidden places, because there's a lot of hidden places in Wichita people don't know about. It's with myself, M, Zach, Taylor, and Bree. We're all going to go try to find the most, exciting, the most lit, if you will, places, the places that everybody needs to know about. And the news part of that is, as we're doing that, we're going to find out new things about the city, maybe we hear something, and there you go.
All right, and I want to touch base on that. You guys, please, not just based on Wichita, if you're hearing us, especially with people out in the east or the west coast, north or south, if you want us to expand on what you guys have to offer in your city, please let us know.
I love road tripping.
We're all about it.
Come visit you guys. So tune into that. Also, Taylor and I, we're getting ready to start an episode going forward with some new members called Diplomatic Resolution. So you guys, we're going to focus on male and female uplifting. So I want you guys to understand that this is for guys that maybe want to work on a little bit on confidence, work on a little bit of their swagger, or they want to talk about advice, dating. And this is good for the young crowd. So please tune into that. You guys, I know that's funny, right?
You said swagger.
2006.
I know. But you guys, thank you so much, you guys, for coming through on this episode 3. That we're going to sign off here. Anything you got to say, Brent, before we go?
You know what? This was fun. Makes me feel a little younger being with you guys. So I had fun. What about you guys? Fun?
Great first time. We all had some great input, had a great discussion. I hope you all enjoyed
He
it.
gets to talk more next time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like he didn't get to talk that much, and he's got a personality waiting to come out.
Cut in.
And looking forward to that. Ace?
I look forward to this again, and also just be yourselves. Don't worry about brands right now in life. Just be yourself. That's the best thing you can do for yourself.
Bree?
Party hardy.
Swagger.
I can't follow that. Thanks.
All right, again, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3 of the Kuttin Krew. Good night.
Later.